We always bring topics that could help you produce more, topics that could take your business to new levels, and that's what all our guests always bring to us. So we're going to talk about something today called the transition of production. There's a lot of different products that are out there, and a lot of folks say, hey, I don't know what to sell, or you're working for some agency and they specialize in one specific product, and those are the products that you sell. Well, suppose those products are not in vogue, right? So, we're going to talk later about the diversity of the actual products, but we need to know also about the transition of production. Well, what do we really mean by that? You see, every single day, well, there's two things you need to have going on: getting new clients and making money, right? Production, right? So with that, we have to look at how do you have a transitional process, because some products make you money in a long-term kind of fashion, and some you get it right away. So if you integrate, and what we notice across the country with agents is, once they utilize our principles of integrating your business amongst all products and amongst all the term horizons, as you're going to see, it's going to help your business grow and make you more productive. So first, what we want to look at is, as you can see the slide, we want to look at your short term, right? So it's going to be short term, intermediate, and long term. They're products, and there's a mindset for everything in there. If we look first at the actual short term, well, those are the products that you really have one visit for, right? One visit. Now, one visit, and besides one visit, you're getting paid quicker than the longer term products, right? It makes sense because you want to make now money. So there's now money and later money. So let's talk about now money now. So for the now money, we're going to look at certain products, right? Like, Medicare products. Many of you sell Medicare products. So Medicare, there's the OEPCs and APCs, and where you write people up and you get paid that next month. So that's okay. Well, then there's also products like final expense, as you can see. Now, do you sell final expense? If not, you might want to think about that. Final expense is truly a necessity. Lots of folks are underinsured in this country. We all know that. But the fact that seniors, a majority of them, are not insured the right way. So final expense is a very cost-effective way to bring them low cost, and it's a comprehensive plan. So final expense, some of those programs pay you weekly. That's not bad, right? You like to be paid weekly, I'm sure. Well, moving on, what about dental programs? Again, you want to look at products that really help you, well, because they sell themselves, right? How many seniors need dental? How many under 65 people need dental? Do you need dental? Of course. We all complain about the high cost of dental. In fact, most people avoid going to the dentist because they're going to spend the money. You have to pay attention to your medical needs. And you know what? Regular under 65 health insurance, right? Health insurance in this country is big business. Do you sell health insurance to folks under 65? When you look at the statistics, everybody's alarmed about the high cost of healthcare. You look at any politician going into office, they talk about how to really lower what's going on with medical costs, right? They all have these great ideas, but here's the bottom line. That confusion, that frustration with the high cost gives you an opportunity. Under 65 health insurance pays you quick too. You see, we're trying to fill a pipeline for you. This pipeline is for the now money because you have now bills to pay, right? So what we want to look at is, what are these products? There's also legal products out there. Legal Shield, to be an example, to help out a person with their wills and all stuff like that. Those products pay you daily. You see, if you look at all these products here right now, they're to give you that now money. Agents tell me that the biggest problem they have is, floating that time before they get their commission checks. Do you have that problem? So what we want to look at is the that short-term horizon and the products that are going to help you. So as we review, first one, Medicare products. Most of you are selling Medicare. In fact, if you're not selling Medicare, you might really want to think about that. The aging of America has given us an incredible opportunity to help the healthcare needs of the senior population. I don't know if you know the facts, but 11,000 people a day in this country right now are turning 65. They need to have Medicare health insurance options because it lowers what they're doing, right? And then under 65, and then final expense. So that takes care of the now money. Now, as you can see, right, you see a dollar sign, a $1 sign. Well, the idea is as you go and you spend more time on other products, sure, there are other products that make you more money. But the idea is we don't want you to focus on longer term products because that doesn't help with now money. You see, Medicare will provide you an incredible substantial income. That's great. Final expense too. But there's other products, the longer term products that might pay you more. But how do you stay alive when you get those commissions? So what we want to look at is also the intermediate term. What does the intermediate term do for you? Well, there's certain products that maybe that's 1 or 2 visits. You see, with the shorter term, you're getting paid right away and you go for 1 visit. That's a 1 sit. That's okay. But sometimes there's other products, like let's stay on Medicare. Medicare for people turning 65, it may require an additional visit. If I was to ask you, how many visits do you go on to really write a life insurance policy, right? Most of you would say, because you're with these captive agencies and they have this certain way of doing business, you're spending multiple visits. Well, multiple visits waste a lot of time. You need to organize. The purpose of this today is to show you to organize your business with certain products so you make your commissions when you need them. Does that make sense? So when we look at the intermediate term, it might be 1 or 2 visits. It might only be 1. But when you're dealing with people turning 65, maybe, not all the time, maybe it might require another follow-up. Usually, it might be a phone call and then a visit, but it doesn't have to be. Now, what we want to look at is other life insurance products. There are certain other life insurance products which have a different purpose to them other than final expense, which may require a longer time horizon. Well, it might be 2 visits to visit with those people. Those pay you nicely too, because you see the $2 signs because you're getting paid a little more. The idea is, see what we're doing. We're building this pipeline of production of commissions for you. You have to organize. I spoke to an agent today and he told me about some things that he was doing. And the idea is, I said, but you're not organizing. How come you didn't do this? You have all this activity going on, but you need to harness the activity. That's what we're doing for you today. We want to harness your activities to make you more productive with the different term horizons. Now, if you say to yourself, you know what, I want to specialize in 1 term horizon, that's okay. But if you strictly focus on the longer term, are you okay not receiving commissions for months to come? We have many agents that they do the advanced insurance products. You know what? It takes you a long time to sit in front of that person. Then you have to go submit, let's take life insurance. You submit that for underwriting and it comes back, 2-3 weeks later, declined or rated. Now you get a co-op decline again. It takes you a long time to cultivate that business. And just because you did, it doesn't mean the business is going to work, right? It doesn't mean it's going to be issued. So when you go into the longer term products, such as what? Financial planning. A lot of financial advisors are here today. The idea is all the financial advisors, right? You have to put a game plan together, right? That's not on 1 visit, right? You need to take your time doing that, right? So that's going to take a little time, but it's worthwhile, right? You can gather millions of dollars of new assets under management, and you could do a lot of great things for that consumer, right? What about also looking at annuities, right? Annuities are fantastic. How many of you currently offer annuities, right? Annuities is fantastic, right? It has a great purpose, great commissions, right? So that's something nice. But a person's not going to buy, a $500,000 annuity from you on the first visit. It takes time. And first of all, you got to make sure it's suitable for them, right? Makes sense. Now, let's look at also those other certain advanced planning for insurance. Successor insurance, a business buyout insurance. Those take time. It does not mean that it is not good for you. See, folks, what I'm trying to bring to you is all the agents out there, what their game plan is they focus on one thing and they get comfortable. Well, that comfort zone needs to be broken at times, because if you don't help somebody, well, you never know what else they have, what other needs they have. And in fact, you don't know who they know. So you need to have the ability of working in all the different terms in the time horizons, from the 1 week to the 3 month. There's all these different products out there. So what you need to do is start to examine the way you do business. Are you working in one market niche? Start to expand one. You don't have to expand everything. Work where your comfort zone is, add a little more, but work smart. Work with the products that sell themselves, right? Makes sense? So the idea is what you see, integrate this game plan. Figure what is the right products for you. A lot of agents out there, unfortunately, they're captive agents, right? So just a little thought on that. When you're a captive agent, that's wonderful. I hope you're getting the support. But what agents tell us is you're limited on the types of products that you offer. That could be a problem. You see, you have to be diverse in what you offer. if you're locked in, we hear agents telling us all the time, we're locked in, Joe. We can't offer these products. That could be a problem. Are the commissions coming the way you want them to? Are you making the commissions that you deserve for your hard work? You see all it is, folks? Figuring out what you want to do with the products and the horizon that you're going to utilize to get you where you want to be. It's that easy. So what I want to share with you is that just take a moment out. Think about what you're offering. Go back to wherever you're working and say, hey, I want to learn more about the products that you're offering. And again, don't forget, Insurance Television Network is here to provide you the tools that you need to survive, but most importantly, thrive. And that's what you want to do. Now, what I'm going to do is bring up a guest. And this is a person who's been doing phenomenal in the business, new to the business. And we're going to share the principles that you're learning today so that you can see how you're going to work it and integrate it into what you do. So let's welcome our guest. So welcome, Trish. Thank you so much for coming. So everyone, this is Trish, and Trish is a wonderful agent, really on top of the game. She really, she's new to the industry, right? So she'll go through her background a little bit. So Trish, what did you do previously? Because we always speak to our folks out there and let them know to treat this business like a business. A lot of people they get an insurance license and they don't treat their business like a business. So that's kind of important, right? So Trish had a business. So Trish, tell us about the type of business you had.
Well, I had a women's clothing boutique for quite a while. And when I came into insurance, I realized that I have to treat my insurance business the way I looked at my clothing business.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you started your business, did you have to get a license?
I did.
Now, when you started your business, did you sell out of the trunk of your car?
No.
You had to get a store.
I had to get a storefront.
I see. And did that store cost you money? Was it free rent?
No.
So you had rent?
I had rent.
What else did you have?
I had insurance.
Let me ask you this. Did you sell anything on the shelves? Anything?
Yes, I sold lots of different products on my shelves.
So you had a diversified inventory of women's clothing?
Women's clothing, accessories.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
The more I could offer, the more I could sell.
You just said something. The more I could offer, the more I could sell. Remember that, folks. The more you could offer, the more you could sell. So you had this store, you did everything. Tell us about, some things like, why would you recommend somebody to get into a business like that? Or maybe not.
I would say not.
Okay.
I did learn a lot about business and sales, and I've always been in sales. There was a tremendous amount of overhead. There was, you had to be there 24/7. If you're not there 24/7, you're going to have problems. There was a constant flux of inventory. You always needed more inventory. It was just this vicious cycle of making money, laying it out, making money, laying it out. It just, at the end of it, it just wasn't worth it.
So question for you now. So you mentioned all this inventory. Mm-hmm. You spent a lot of money on inventory,
yes.
right? And one important thing you mentioned, if you weren't there, you would have to rely on staff?
Yes.
And if you weren't there, do you really believe that your staff had the salesmanship and in other words, they really wanted this business to really keep on going did they really care about the business?
Not really. You can't blame them. It wasn't their business.
Right.
Nobody is going to take care of your business like you.
There you go.
It's just not going to happen.
Right. So you took so now you got your insurance license. You don't have the overhead that you had.
No.
And now all you have to depend on is you, right? That's the value insurance agents have, right. Depending on yourself. So that's a great thing, right? Yeah. So no inventory, but you mentioned diversity of inventory, right? So now you mentioned also, so you're an independent agent, right?
Yes, I am.
So you could have became a captive agent versus an independent agent. And I think you did mention you interviewed with a branded company that's out there, right?
Okay. I did. And, taking all things into consideration and pulling from my life experience, I know that we'll talk about the store. When I had my store, if I only sold striped shirts, and maybe stripes going this way, maybe going that way, if those were the only two items that I offered, I would be doing myself a huge disservice, because let's say now you have a need for pants. What am I going to do? Send you to the pants store? Now you need shoes. Oh, go down to the shoe store over there. So what I understand and understood right away is the more products that I can offer, the more I can help you, the more I can sell, the more income I can make. And that's really what I'm doing in the insurance business.
Right.
I need to make a living.
Right. So now let's take that experience. So she went to become independent, right, versus that branded, working for one of those captive agencies. A lot of folks do. Nothing wrong with that. But the idea is, I think you mentioned to me before, you were very limited when you went captive. You were limited in the product lines you sold.
Yes.
And your business background told you that, you need to be able to be diversified and where you choose the products to sell. Whereas a lot of agents tell us, we're stuck, we're locked in with the products. Whereas with you now, being independent, you're not, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So if we take this whole mentality of working your business and you chose one independent, let's go now on to what we're talking about today, the transition of production, right? So now you work with a lot. I know you do life insurance, right? You do final expense, right?
I do.
And you do Medicare business too, right?
Yes.
That's a major focus
Yes.
for you, right?
Yep.
So now looking on that short term, the intermediate, and the longer term, how does that make sense for you? Like, why should an agent be structured as far as being short term money, intermediate term money, and long term? Why does that make sense to you? What would you say?
Well, I'll speak from my own experience. When I started in this business, I needed immediate money, the short term.
And think about that. Most agents say they need immediate money.
I did not. I mean, hey, who wouldn't love to sell a big commission item? But I had to be realistic. I did not have 6 months to put into this to wait to get paid. So I started with the short-term sales. The final expense, the Medicare, all of that. And what that has done is that has done two things. That has given me immediate income, and it has also given me a book of business to build upon and to take people to the next level of sales. So the immediate short-term sale, I needed.
Right, okay.
Now, the intermediate term, I feel comfortable putting in the time because I don't have to worry about that immediate income. I've got that coming in. So now, to move on to something that will take a little bit more time, a couple of more visits, you're going to make a bigger commission, makes sense for me. I'm comfortable doing it. I'm able to do it. And then go further down the line, some kind of a case that's going to take multiple visits and quite a bit of time, I'll be able to do that as well because I'm building up my income.
Now, question for you. So you have these short-term folks you meet with, right?
Yes.
You also meet people with turning 65, right?
Oh, yes.
And, a lot of folks, we do know folks that health and wealth is the two major concerns that people have once they retire. So the idea is, that there's a lot of candidates now that you've helped turning 65 that now have to do something with the 401ks, right?
Exactly.
So financial advisors like that. The idea is that you need products that lead in to the biggest sales, right? You need to have products that bring you now money, right? The only reason why an agent fails is, they can't hang in there and pay their bills, right? And that was a big factor for you.
Yes, absolutely.
So you really embraced the short-term sales, right? You did very well. And in fact, I know you did. You got through an AEP season, which is phenomenal for you. So congratulations.
It was great.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're smiling.
yeah.
So that was a great thing, right?
And you know what? It's over, and I have to tell you, I'm just as busy, maybe not quite as busy, but I'm still pretty busy.
Right.
So it's just next day back at work.
So now I know that, you helped all those people, right, with their Medicare health coverage. And now those are people you can now approach for dental, for final expense and all that.
Exactly.
So that's all good, right?
Yes.
So you see, what we're trying to show you is it's all about integrating and having a system. Identifying the people to open the doors with, right? And that's what you were doing,
Yes.
right? And then how do you get to the other products that they need? And because you chose the independent channel, now you're able to help people with everything out there. The idea is it's all about production. You're an insurance agent, you're an insurance broker, whatever it may be. It's the idea of having products that really sell themselves, that integrate. There's a synergy with the products, right? And that's what you do, right?
Absolutely. I feel if you cultivate a relationship with clients, they trust you, and I let them know right away I can help you with dental, I can help you with legal, final expense, we follow up with thank you letters, letting people know this is what we do, and then not to mention referrals.
Right.
If you really do the right thing and cultivate a relationship with people, they're going to tell everybody they know.
You know what, talking about referrals, it's nice that you brought that up. But the idea with referrals, right? How many referrals do you get? Think about this, right? Would you really get a referral from somebody, right? Who you just think about this. You want that person who you just sold something to, let's say it was the premium, whatever it may be, long-term care or some insurance product that had a $5,000 a year premium, right? And if they referred you to one of their friends, you think their friends are going to jump for joy to spend thousands of dollars on a product? I don't think so. But the idea is, in the Medicare business, right, most of those premiums are how much? Zero?
Zero.
So would you refer somebody, and the referee, would they want to talk to somebody that could bring them a product that had such a low cost? Yes. What we're trying to bring out is this. Your short term is very, very important. The product that's in that short term is very important. And what's going to make that sale is the perception that that product meets a need and a low cost. When you have one product that has only a high cost to it, well, you're swimming upstream, right? It's very, very difficult, right? And you notice that by having products like you have that are low cost, those short-term products should be all what? Low cost. The intermediate, the long-term products, those are products that have a need, but the idea is it's not something people say, oh my God, I have to get it, right? But the products for your short-term needs, they take right away, right?
Exactly, because they need to get it. They're confused. They don't understand it. The clock is ticking. They need help.
The clock is ticking.
It is.
Exactly.
It's
Absolutely,
ticking for
yeah.
them. I mean, it's not like they have all the time in the world to decide what healthcare company they don't.
So that's good.
They need help.
Right. Yeah. So what you need to do is you need to look at the products you're offering, right? And you need to integrate with some short-term products that make sense. Right? A lot of agents, they just focus on long-term care. Listen, it has a great need to it, but those premiums are very expensive. And the underwriting, well, that could really be a major hurdle to overcome. So you need to look at what products can give you now money, right? And certain products like final expense, Medicare, dental, these are things that you should be offering, right? Nobody is ever saying don't offer the products that you're offering. What we're saying is you need to integrate, right?
Absolutely.
Integrate the products. Listen, if there wasn't a need for the products that you're selling, they wouldn't be around. So there is a need. But how do we take care of now money for you? And that's the major topic that we wanted to stress to you today. The products to bring now money, right? So I'm glad to see, Trish, you're getting lots of now money, right?
Yes,
That's good, right?
yes, I am.
And you're working on your intermediate and later money too, right?
Yes, I am.
Listen, the now money builds a foundation for your future, and that's what you need to do. Folks, I want to thank you all for attending today. Trish, I want to just wish you congratulations again and many years of success ahead of you.
Thank you, Joe.
You're swimming in the right stream, that's for sure, right?
Thanks, Joe.
And folks, remember, these episodes are here to help you grow your business. If there's any topic you want to hear about, please give us a call, email us. We're here to help you. So again, I'm Joe Battaglia, your host, and this was Trish, your guest on the Insurance Television Network. See you on the next episode.